These photographs hold more than just faces. They capture the pulse of an era, the whispers of forgotten histories, and the emotions of those who lived through them. Welcome to Timeless Frames, where we unveil the hidden past and bring it back to life. Let's start. Ottler Kafka, 7 October 1943. Ottler Kafka, the beloved sister of author Franz Kafka, was gassed upon arrival at Auschwitz after volunteering to escort a group of orphans from the Terezin ghetto. Her selfless act cost her life during the Holocaust. Sabina Chebet, Kenyan athlete, 1973. Kenyan athlete Sabina Chebet won a race in 1973 barefoot and wearing a dress, showcasing her determination and strength despite the lack of proper gear. Fanny Cochrane-Smith, 1903. Aboriginal Tasmanian, Fanny Cochrane-Smith sang on her phonograph in 1903. Her efforts to preserve the Tasmanian language ensured audio traces of her culture for future generations. First interracial marriage in Mississippi, 1970. This groundbreaking photo captures the first interracial marriage in Mississippi in 1970. The 1967 Loving v. Virginia SCOTUS ruling legalized interracial marriage in the U.S., marking a significant step toward equality. An African-American Union soldier with his family, 1864. This rare photograph from circa 1864 shows an African-American Union soldier with his family. It is one of the few visual records of African-American soldiers during the Civil War. Dance teacher Patsy Swayze, 1978. Dance teacher Patsy Swayze, along with her daughter-in-law Lisa Nemi and son Patrick Swayze, pose for a family photo in 1978. It captures the artistic legacy of this talented family. Jane Russell draws Marilyn Monroe, 1953. During the filming of Gentlemen Prefer Blondes in 1953, Jane Russell showed her co-actress Marilyn Monroe one of her talents, drawing. Russell sketches Monroe, demonstrating her artistic side behind the scenes. What emotions of loss and remembrance linger in this family's 1925 tribute to their father? Let's watch Remembering the Father, 1925. This poignant photo from 1925, titled Remembering the Father, shows a reflection of loss and remembrance in a family setting during that era. Marilyn Monroe, without makeup, 1955. This rare photograph shows Marilyn Monroe without makeup in 1955. It reveals a more natural side of the iconic actress, far removed from her glamorous public image. Barack Obama as a pirate, 1960s. This adorable photo shows a young Barack Obama dressed as a pirate with his mother, Stanley Ann, in the 1960s. It captures a tender moment from his childhood. Lonnie Johnson, inventor of the Super Soaker, 1992. Inventor Lonnie Johnson, photographed in 1992, is credited with creating the Super Soaker. His innovation revolutionized water toys and became a staple of summer fun. New York in the 1960s. This photograph offers a snapshot of life in New York City during the 1960s. It reflects the vibrancy, diversity, and transformation of the city during a time of cultural change. London, 1940, girl in bombed home. In 1940, London, a young girl sits amidst the wreckage of her bombed-out home, holding her doll. The photo captures the harsh realities of civilian life during World War II. Luzon woman, 1875. This photo from 1875 shows a Luzon woman, offering a rare glimpse into the traditional attire and culture of the people from Luzon, Philippines, during that period. Inuit girl in Aviat, Nunavut, 1949. This photo from 1949 shows an Inuit girl descending into her ice igloo house in Aviat, Nunavut, northern Canada. The image offers a glimpse into traditional Inuit life and architecture. Dorothy Counts, 1957. Dorothy Counts became the first black girl to attend an all-white school in the U.S. in 1957. This photo captures her being taunted by classmates at Harry Harding High School in Charlotte. What fleeting moment of culture and connection is captured in this young woman's glance in 1985 Oaxaca? Let's watch. Young woman from Oaxaca, Mexico, 1985. In the middle of a celebration, a young woman from Oaxaca, Mexico notices she is being photographed and gives a look to the camera. The image captures a candid moment of culture and connection in 1985. A sailor meets his baby for the first time, the 1940s. This emotional photograph from the 1940s shows a sailor meeting his baby for the first time after being away for 14 months at sea. The moment reflects the bittersweet reunion during wartime. Mother and daughter walking in New York, 1970. This photo from 1970 shows a mother and daughter walking together in New York City. The photo reflects the bond between them amidst the bustling urban environment. Mother repairs family car while husband is away, 1944. This photo shows a mother repairing the family car while her husband is away at war in 1944. It captures the resilience and self-sufficiency of women during World War II. Faces of Auschwitz, 1940. This powerful image from 1940 shows the faces of those who lived through the horrors of Auschwitz. It stands as a poignant reminder of the human suffering during the Holocaust. Margaret Ann Neve, 110 years old, 1902. Margaret Ann Neve, an American woman who lived to 110, is captured in this photograph taken just before she died in 1902. Born in 1792, she lived through 3 centuries of history. Princess of Egypt and Iranian Queen Fawzia Fuad, circa 1939. This photograph from around 1939 shows the Princess of Egypt and Iranian Queen Fawzia Fuad. Their regal presence and style highlight the cultural and political ties between Egypt and Iran. Grandfather in the Second Korean War, 1968. This photograph from 1968 shows someone's grandfather during the Second Korean War. It provides a glimpse into the life of a soldier during a tumultuous period in history. 112-year-old veteran and Russian Civil War, 1980. In 1980, Temruz Vanacha, a 112-year-old and Russian Civil War veteran, posed with his son, Ivan. Their photo reflects the legacy of family and military service across generations. Wedding rings found near Buchenwald, 1945. This photo shows wedding rings found by U.S. Army soldiers near the Buchenwald concentration camp in May 1945. It serves as a somber reminder of the human suffering endured during the Holocaust. Sisters in skirts, 1950s. This charming photograph from the 1950s shows 2 sisters dressed in skirts. It captures the innocence and style of mid-20th century youth. Blackfoot Chief Two Guns White Calf, early 1900s. This photograph from the early 1900s shows Blackfoot Chief Two Guns White Calf. He is known for being the last man to wear the traditional Blackfoot regalia. Mother and daughter hamming it up for the camera, circa 1900. This playful photograph from around 1900 shows a mother and daughter posing for the camera. Their lively expressions reflect the joy and love shared between them. Marcy Borders, Dust Lady, September 11th. Marcy Borders, known as the Dust Lady, was photographed after escaping the North Tower of the World Trade Center on September 11th. She tragically died of cancer at age 42, a reminder of the lasting effects of the tragedy. Vintage photograph of a kid, wearing a monkey mask. 1920s. This quirky photograph from the 1920s shows a child wearing a monkey mask. It captures children's costumes' playful and eccentric spirit during the era. Couples in a bar. 1959 Pittsburgh. This candid photo from 1959 shows couples enjoying time together in a Pittsburgh bar. It captures the lively social scene and carefree nature of the late 1950s. Barack Obama visits step-grandmother in Kenya. 1988. This photo from 1988 shows Barack Obama visiting his step-grandmother, Sarah Ogwell Onyango Obama, in Kenya. She was affectionately called Grandma Sarah by Obama. James Scott sabotages levee. 1993 Great Flood. In 1993, James Scott intentionally sabotaged a levee, causing a massive flood along the Mississippi River. His goal was to delay his wife's return home, allowing him to continue partying. French children served wine with school lunches until 1956. This historical fact is reflected in a photograph showing French children being served wine with their school lunches before the practice was discontinued in 1956. Titanic orphans, brothers Michel and Edmond Navratil, 1912. Michel and Edmond Navratil were the only children rescued from the Titanic without a parent or guardian in 1912. The photograph of these Titanic orphans captures their innocence amidst the tragedy of the disaster. Mixtec woman in traditional dress, 1970s. This photo shows a Mixtec woman from Oaxaca in her traditional dress during the 1970s. The Mixtec people share land with the Zapotecs, a different ethnic group with its own unique culture. Lucky British soldier shows off damaged helmet. 1917. This photo from 1917 shows a British soldier proudly displaying his damaged helmet. It captures the resilience and grit of soldiers during World War I, symbolizing survival in the face of danger. Her Majesty Queen Marie of Romania, 1896. This regal photograph from 1896 shows Queen Marie of Romania, known for her beauty and charitable work. The image reflects her grace and dignity as a monarch. Mayan women in the Yucatan Peninsula, 1952. This photo shows Mayan women from the Yucatan Peninsula wearing traditional huipil dresses around 1952. The huipil is an important garment reflecting the cultural identity of the Mayan people. Victorian woman with intense gaze, circa 1850s to 60s. This striking photograph from the mid-19th century shows a Victorian woman with a very intense gaze. Her serious expression and clothing reflect the social norms and personal strength of the era. Child laborers in Georgia, cotton mill, 1910. This photo from 1910 shows two young boys working in a Georgia cotton mill. They are standing barefoot on moving electric looms to reach the top shelf, highlighting the dangerous conditions that led to child labor laws. What history and cultural intersection are captured in this 1920 glimpse of Jerusalem's vibrant past? Let's watch. Jerusalem, 1920. The Palestine-German Bank sign. This photograph from 1920 in Jerusalem shows a sign reading the Palestine-German Bank, offering a remarkable glimpse into the region's vibrant multicultural presence during that era. Soviet officer tastes hot dog and Coca-Cola, 1989. In 1989, a Soviet officer aboard the U.S. cruiser Thomas S. Gates tasted a hot dog and Coca-Cola for the first time. This moment marked a symbolic exchange between the Soviet Union and the U.S. during the late stages of the Cold War. Police officer playing Duck Duck Goose, 1970. This 1970 photograph shows a police officer playing Duck Duck Goose with children in New York. It captures a moment of community connection and joy during a simpler time. Firefighters protecting General Sherman, 1930s. Firefighters work to protect the General Sherman tree, the largest tree in the world, from a wildfire. This act of bravery ensures the survival of one of nature's greatest wonders. What resilience and pride are embodied in this Harlem Grocer's 1937 stand against adversity? Let's watch Harlem Grocer, 1937. This photo from 1937 shows a Harlem grocer standing proudly in front of his store. It reflects the resilience and entrepreneurial spirit of the African-American community during the time. Cheyenne Dog Soldier, Black Wolf, 1921. This photo from 1921 shows Black Wolf, a Cheyenne dog soldier. His fierce, determined expression embodies the strength and spirit of Native American warriors during the early 20th century. Jesse Owens in London, 1936 Olympics. Jesse Owens, an American athlete, is photographed in London after winning 4 gold medals at the 1936 Berlin Olympics. His victory in Berlin defied Nazi racial ideologies and solidified his place in history. German soldiers react to footage of concentration camps, 1945. This poignant photograph from 1945 shows German soldiers reacting to footage of concentration camps. Their shocked expressions reveal the gravity of the Holocaust's atrocities. Woman by a Redwood Tree, 1950s. This 1950s photo shows a woman standing next to a towering redwood tree. The image highlights the scale and beauty of these majestic trees, a symbol of natural grandeur. Satchel Paige, Final Game, 1965. Satchel Paige pitched 3 scoreless innings for the Kansas City As in 1965 at the age of 59. Despite his age, he remained a legend in baseball and was provided an easy chair and nurse in the bullpen. B-17. Ball turret gunner Alan McGee, 1943. In January 1943, B-17 ball turret gunner Alan McGee fell 22,000 feet without a parachute and landed on the glass roof of St. Nazaire train station, surviving serious injuries, but his remarkable survival became legendary. Thanks for watching this video. But do you think you are missing one thing? Yes, of course. Do subscribe, like, and share our Timeless Frames channel to get more videos like this. For now, goodbye.